Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So like you all know that previously we have covered up many of the things using C++ from start, and we have also started a new tutorial series of C++ in which we have covered up different topics on C++, and I hope you enjoy that all topics which we have covered up yet. So in this video we'll be covering up a really different topic. In this video I'll be telling you that how you can do math in C++. We'll be covering up everything about math, like how you can subtract the value, how you can add the value, how you can minimize and maximize the value. All the things I'll be telling about math in C++, how you can use math functions, what are the elements you have to use when you're working with math in C++. So I hope you'll be enjoying this video from start, in which we'll be learning about math and creating really different functions and elements. So if you enjoy this different video and if you understand this tutorial video, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel, and share this video so more people can learn that how we can start with these amazing things using C++, which we have covered up previously and which we are covering up in this video. So already in C++ we have covered up really different things, like we were starting with strings in previous videos, and I have told you about really different strings, and in the previous video we have learned about C style strings, and I hope you enjoyed that video as well. So you can check out my previous videos. I have created a playlist on my channel of C++ tutorial. You can check that out and you can learn different things from there as well. So now let's move to computer screen and let's get started with our today's tutorial topic, which is how to use math in C++ from start. So now here we are on the computer screen. Like I've told you in the start that in this video we'll be learning that how you can use this math functions in C++ and what are the things which we have to use when we are starting with math in C++. So if we talk about math, so basically C++ has many functions that allows you to perform mathematical tasks on numbers. Means it is saying us that if you want to use or perform mathematical tasks, so you can use different functions which are here in C++, which allows you to use mathematical tasks on numbers. Like if we talk about max and min, the max function can be used to find the highest value of x and y. Means it is just saying x and y, which is a variable name. So this max function which we use in C++, it can be used to find the highest value. If you want to find any highest value of your variables which you have created in your C++ program, so you can find it using this max. And if you want to find the minimum value of a lowest means of a variable which you have created in C++, so you can use this minimum function. So these are the two functions which are really common functions which we used in C++. If you want to find the highest value, you can use this maximum, and if you want to find the minimum value of a variable, so you can use this minimum function there. So the example of these functions are here. Like if you want to use this maximum function, so you can use like this, and if you want to use the minimum function, you can use like this. Only you have to use the short form of these things so that these functions will be working. Then if we talk about C++ math library, so you can use the C math library as well. Other functions such as square root, round to round a number, and log natural logarithm can be found in the C math header file. Example include C math. Means if you want to use different functions of mathematical tasks to perform mathematical tasks, so you can use this CMath library. So for defining the CMath library, you have to include it in your C++ program or in your C++ document. Like if I'm creating a C++ document, so in start I create and add a IOStream library which says hashtag include IOStream. So that is the thing which you have to use with this math library as well. If you want to include this math functions, means if you want to include these square root, round, and logarithm functions, so you have to use this include CMath library and you have to include it in your C++ document, and after that you can use the count and these functions to get the different values here. Now we have to just see practically how we are doing it. So what I'm going to do is next I'm just moving on to my Google Chrome here, and I'll be just changing the name here of my title, and I'll be giving the title as math in C++. Then I'll be pressing enter. And if you want to perform different mathematical functions here, so first of all we have to include some of the libraries in C++ to use the mathematical functions here. So what I'm going to do is our REPL has been created, so I'll be including first of all IOStream, which is first library which we have to include when we are starting with C++, and the second library which I'll be including will be CMath, because we have to use different math functions, and that's why I'm using a library called CMath, which refers to different mathematical functions if you want to use it in C++. Now I'll be using namespace std, And then after doing these all things, I'll be using an init main function. And in this init main function, I'll be defining all my math function as well, which I have to use here. So I'll be returning first of all the value. Then I will be using the first function here, which will be count. And in count, I'll be writing here value as max. And in max, I'll be writing two values. One is 5 and second will be as 10. And I'll be writing this endl as well, so I can get one line space after each function which I'm creating. So if I run this function here to get the output, so what output we are getting, we have to check it. So if I run here, after running, we are getting an output 10. Why we are getting the output 10? Because we have written here two values, and in two values, we are saying what is the maximum value in these two values. So obviously 5 is smaller than 10 and 10 is greater than 5. So that's why the maximum value which we are getting in our output is 10. If I add three values, if I add 5, 10, 15. So now you will be getting the output as 15 because 15 is the greatest value in this brackets which we have written. 5 and 10 are the small values from this 15. So that's why when you will be printing these values, you will be getting an output 15. If I run, you can just see we are getting an error. So why we are getting an error? The error is coming because you cannot create three functions here. So you have to create only two. So I'll be just writing 2 here. Then I'll be running it again. So now you'll be getting the output 15. You can just see now we are getting the output 15 printed. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be copying this thing and I'll be pasting it down. And in the place of max, I'll be writing min, which means minimum now. So from these two values, we are getting one minimum value, which is 5. So obviously the first output you will be getting as 15, which is the maximum value here, and the second output you will be getting as 5, which is the minimum value in this function. So I'll be running to get the output as 15 and 5. So you can just see first output we are getting is 15, then the second we are getting is 5. You can do it with 10 as well. The first output now you will be getting as 10. The second output you will be getting as 5. Run it here and you can just see first output 10, second output 5. So like this, you can use this maximum and minimum function, which are the common function which we use in mathematical performing libraries. So I'll be moving down and now we'll be using the functions which we have to add when we are using the CMath library. This is a square root function. Then the second which we will be using is a round function. Then the third which we will be using will be logarithm function. So these are the three functions which we used. So the first you will be getting the square root of 64. Then second you will be getting a round value of 2.6. Third you will be getting the logarithm of 2. So now we have to run these values to check the output. You can just see first we are getting the output as 10, which is the maximum value. Minimum we are getting is 5. Then square root of 64 we are getting 8 because 8 8 is 64. Then we are getting the round value of 2.6, which is 3, and we are getting the logarithm of 2, which is 0.693147. So like this you can use these values. And remember, when you're using these three values, so you have to import a library called CMath, which is really important to do. So remember to import this library. If you don't do that, so these three functions will be not working. These functions will be working because these function does not require any math library. But if you're using these three functions of square root, round, and logarithm, so you have to import this CMath library, which is really important to do. So I hope you understand that how we are using these things and how we are working with mathematical functions and how we are performing mathematical functions in C++. If I move to my Word document again, so it says that you can use other functions as well, but these are the basic functions which I have told you that you can use in this CMath library here when you include in C++. And these count means this maximum function and this minimum function. These are the common functions which we use, but it is not important to add CMath library when you're using only these two functions, because if we talk about most commonly used things, so maximum function and minimum function are the most commonly used functions which we use to perform mathematical operations. But if we talk about these things here, square root, round, and logarithm value, these are not being used too much. But I am telling you about these things because these are the beginner things which we use to get the square root, round, and the logarithm value. And to use these functions, we have to import a library called CMath. And including this library, you can use other functions as well, which I'll be telling you in coming up videos. And you will be learning different things about mathematical operations, that how you can perform mathematical tasks on numbers using different functions. These are the basic functions which I have told you, and I hope you understand that how we can use this function and get the output. So if you have understand this video in which we have covered up that how we can start with mathematical functions and how we can get the output of each mathematical function in our console or in our terminal. You can use command prompt as well to use these things and get the output. So if you have understand this video and if you enjoy this amazing video of math in C++. Remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like that, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my coming up videos which I'll be uploading on this channel. And also just remember to share my playlist to the other people so they can learn about that, how we can start with C++, what are the things which we have covered up till here in C++. So this is like you can say a beginning video which we are covering up right now, and then in the future videos I'll be also telling you that how you can create different projects using these all things which we have covered up yet in C++. Like we have covered up strings, and then we have covered up math now in this video. Then in the previous video we have learned about that what are C style string, and with the chart character type we were using that string. So just I'll be meeting you in next project or in next tutorial video of C++ from start. So for today, good bye.